Hi there, I'm Linda K. Gifford. Let me get in the webcam, racing in here a few minutes late, but welcome. I'm Linda K. Gifford again. I am a life coach now for C-PTSD survivors of sexual assault, especially those, well, I shouldn't say especially, but I did start and focus on childhood survivors of both sexual assault. Um, there's no such thing as sexual abuse, so we're not going to say that anymore, because here's my analogy. If someone punched you, if you punch someone in the face, you're going to get charged with assault, not face abuse. If you rape someone, it shouldn't be called sexual abuse. So for those of us who were repeatedly raped for years as a child, or whatever your experience is, it is assault. It is not abuse. Please address it as such from now on. I even changed the title of my book that'll be out pretty soon. I'm actually here putting it all together on an extended vacation trip to put my book together. That's where I'm at. And I changed the name from Self-Talk, My Continuing Efforts to Survive Childhood Sexual Abuse, to My Continuing Efforts to Survive Childhood Sexual Assault. I don't know why my phone is telling me things. I mean, my computer. Let me go back. I have to close out of something else here that's in my store that timed out that I forgot was open. I'm so sorry. So anyway, today we're going to continue talking about body memory and disassociation. And for those who aren't familiar with C-PTSD, we're going to give a brief explanation of what that is, pretty much at the beginning of every one of our lessons now, because it comes up so much. Many people think of PTSD, those who don't have it, as a memory. And what they don't realize is that memory can absolutely overtake your entire being at that moment. It feels real, it smells real, it tastes real, and it's happening all around you. As I've said before, it's like taking another video. I'm real. Take a video of a past traumatic experience I've been in, put it right on top, and I'm in both of them. That's what the PTSD experience is like to me and to many others. And here's something I want you to start learning to do, is to picture it just as I said, as here's the real life, the video you're watching and I'm making, and there's another video on top. You can see through. It's sheer, it's opaque, but you can see this. This is something that this is it. This is our lesson. This is one of the lessons today that I want you to do. I want you to take time to separate the experience that you're having. It feels, for many, many people who haven't done a whole lot of therapy and work like I have, the real picture disappears, and all that is left is that screen, is that juxtaposition of the past. And it is being experienced as if in real time on every sensory level, because people, you or the one that you work with or care about, if you are a support personnel or a loved one, this person, the worst thing you can do is tell them get over it. I want to reiterate that. I said that in the last live stream last Thursday. It's not a get over thing. It is something that has been taken into the mind in a jumbled fashion, and because it's so traumatic, it's not put into the brain in a place where we logically can look at it easily, unless we try. And if we don't try, then we become like I was, someone who, I've been out to succeed. I've been out to get everything I wanted to accomplish accomplished. I've been doing pretty well. I own feelgoodfairtrade.com. We just hit our 4th year online, although we haven't had our official birthday party, because we're going to launch my rescue charity, Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund, officially on September 4th at the Healing Arts Festival in Springfield, Illinois. Big festival. Buzz Bomb Brewery location is where we will be launching the whole subscription, merchandise, everything to raise money to rescue victims of human trafficking and abuse. So what I'm saying is, while my life I see now developed along the line to help women and to support my own traumatic experience, what I never did was face it. I was 36 years old before I faced it. That was 30 years ago. I am 56 years old. You're not supposed to say your age on here because you lose people, but it's like, this is 56, okay? It is what you make it. It's more trips around the sun. And I have learned, I have done work. I have raised 3 boys. We have multiple gender identities in the family. And after all of those years, finally, accidentally, in marriage counseling, I ended up in sexual abuse counseling, which me and my therapist, who I still see an hour a week, and I recommend you do too. I recommend you talk to somebody. You can talk to me. I am also a life coach. In fact, right now I am taking initial appointments for free because I don't really look at it as an appointment so much as I'm milking you for more information for my book. And in doing so, I'm coming up with, I am learning a lot, don't get me wrong. But one of the things I'm learning is how common our experience is, how absolutely common our experience is. So that's what I'm here to do. I want to share some ways to deal with this experience. And today I want to start with bad language. I'm going to throw out some bad language. Words, things we need to give up. That's not what I was going to talk about today, but it works in. But the reason I want to do that is because we are so caught up in using words that don't describe our experience, that minimize our experience. That is why I'm insisting that from now on, childhood sexual abuse is called sexual assault. If you have experienced anything that is labeled abuse in any other field, it's assault. As I said at the top of this, punch someone in the face and see if you get charged with face abuse. Okay? But rape someone, oftentimes you don't even get a sentence. You just get supervised, probation. And it makes me sick that people don't understand how those of us who have been violated in this manner are affected for a lifetime. But let's put that aside, because that's what I talk about more on Sundays at Sunday school, how it all fits together: sexuality, society, spirit, all of history, culture, anthropology. That's Sunday. Today we're going to get deep into some more lessons. So, because of taking one-on-one appointments, I am now going to be live streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, not Wednesdays. We'll be doing our lessons live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I really can't wait for you to make an appointment. I have an appointment calendar. Again, I'm not charging anybody anything for first consultations. I really just want to have a discussion and understand your experience and your needs so that I can basically add it to the pool of research that is out there and that I am personally conducting while I do this. So we've done 2 lessons so far. I will refresh you. I have made an acronym called SPADES. And I'm going to whip them off real fast and then break it down. Today we're on A, but I'm going to break it down and we'll reiterate S and P. SPADES is S. Shame is not yours. And we did a lesson on but go back to my last live stream and the one before that, last Thursday and last Tuesday, please. And you will get those lessons in depth. I actually walk you through them. In fact, I've been asked to, and so I'm going to make a playlist just of walking through these lessons in almost someone called it a meditation. I do lots of meditations, and I don't consider it a meditation, but walking through the lessons is useful. So I'm going to touch on them now. The first lesson for the S in Spades is shame is not yours. So what I want you to do is remember everything that happened to you. That's harsh. That's hard. And for a lot of people, that sends them off into triggers. And so that's why I want you to watch the other live streams, because I'll explain how to do this more gracefully. But in brief, we're going to imagine somebody that you care about. Oh, I didn't even know that was there. We're going to imagine a child that you care about, or somebody that you care about as a child, or somebody that's not you, that you have some kind of feelings for, or that you work with. Imagine the things that happen to you happening to them. And when I did that, walking people through lessons, the first time I started shaking, I got teary. Right now I feel that edge, but I've learned how to back out of it. And that's how I'm going to connect this to what I started to talk about at the top. Remember when I said PTSD is like inserting a video screen on top of reality that is also from the past. It's a recording, but it feels real because it was never processed correctly, especially if you were a child. Children's brains haven't even grown the connectivity yet between what takes it in and what stores it and files it. And so we literally develop less connections, which leads us to our extreme ability to disassociate, but we'll get there. But back to the top. So here's this video that's taken over. And it is so real. It is so real because of everything I've just talked about. And what you're going to do is see somebody else. Not you. Not you. Don't jump in that rabbit hole right now. Take that sensation and imagine somebody you care about in that situation. And then you will realize, this is what did it for me. I was having a trigger flashback at the same moment I was watching my friend's two young adolescent, almost teenage, like 9 and 11 daughters in my garden. And I realized that there was nothing they could have ever been a part of that could have been their fault, even if they didn't fight back, even if they didn't tell, whatever. And I realized that was me. So that's what I want you to do, is associate it with somebody else, not long enough to get sick, but you will. You'll feel sick and you'll feel angry. And like I said in my last live stream, I'm going to reiterate, that's the A. Not the A, I'm sorry. That's the E in spades. That's educate. Take your anger and your disgust and don't put it back inside yourself. Take that and go educate and advocate. And we're going to change the way people think and the way society is. And that is a super big battle. One of my stores, several actually, I have bought thosenastywomen.com, upriseincorporated.com, and upriseinc.com, all of which are opening to raise money for progressive causes and to raise money for electoral college reform and election integrity. But I digress. So the lessons were the shame is not yours, and we did that. I had to walk you through it a little bit. The second one was the past. The past, the present is the present. Separate the past from the present. That's the P in spades. Past and present. Separate the two. Okay? Anybody can say it all day long, but how do you do it, right? How do you do it? You do it with lesson number 2, which I've already gone into, but I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Lesson number 2 is you literally state reality. State it in words. You list what you see. The first thing you do to separate so that that PTSD flashback, C-PTSD flashback memory doesn't become your whole world to where you get lost and cry and out of control. And that's what happens that freaks all the people out around us. They don't understand. It's like, well, it's not healthy for us either to go to that place. That's an escape. So we're not going to escape into the rabbit hole of despair. I want you to see the two things. See reality and your flashback, and you're going to claw your way back to reality. You're going to make a choice here. And that's hard to do. I get it. I do. I've been there so many times. And I have blacked out. I have a history of childhood blackouts and adolescent and teen blackouts, even adult, where where I just wake up and I don't even know where I am. I just know that I was triggered and I jumped so far into what I call that rabbit hole that I cried my way into a blackout, took myself into, sounds weird to some people, but those of us who are abuse survivors, it's the kind of thing I never would have admitted before, but now I know that it's actually really common to go into a closet or a pantry or a cellar or a barn or a quiet place, just a quiet, dark place to try not to think. And then you get older and you discover drugs and alcohol. And then you go into that place to not think. And I'm a big preacher of not drugging your way out of this. Personally, for most people, I don't even think you need to medically, with a doctor, drug your way out of this. And as I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. Do not stop taking your medication if you're on doctor-prescribed medication. But you are welcome to tell them what Linda says. Send them to me. Give them my phone number. Tell them that you'd like to consider a therapy to address what is the one problem you have, instead of taking a pill that will affect all kinds of your physiology and affect other parts of your life, including your love life. And you don't want to do that, because once you get a handle on your sexual abuse triggers and stop dealing with narcissists, this is the next thing we're going to talk about, and stop letting yourself be victimized and used by people that you think you can save, you think you can help, and that make you feel awesome. They make you feel amazing at first, like, oh, I need you. You are the one. And then you get into it and you learn they're like that with everyone. This is so typical. So I'm going to talk about that right after the third lesson. And that is, we have separate the shame, or the shame is not yours. We have separate the past from the present. That's S&P. A is ask for what you want. So how do you ask for what you want? That is easier said than done, because we're so afraid of disappointing someone, and we're so used to viewing ourselves through the lens of, what do other people think of me? Is my secret hidden? Am I okay? Do the normal people think I'm okay? We're so lost in that world that it's very difficult to ask for what we want. So I'm going to go back to the top of this live stream again and throw in, this is where I was going with, we need to change the way we speak, the language we speak. And one of the bad language words that we always say is the normal people. I did it myself when I did a teaser, not a teaser. I went on Facebook and said I was going to do this today, right? And in there, I used the word, what normal people. And I realized, there I went. See, I literally teach, preach, and coach against this kind of behavior, but it's so ingrained in all of us that even I referred to myself as not like the normal people. So that made me think, and I want to tell you this right now. There is nothing normal. Everyone has a different experience. And if you need normal, know that there are millions, statistically speaking. 1 in 3 women have been sexually assaulted or raped in America. Imagine the whole world. So you are part of a group. We are perfectly normal. We're just fed up. We are fed up. You should be fed up. And you should ask for what you want. So my lesson now, today, is about asking for what you want. And the way to do that is to throw aside trying to please anybody else, is to throw aside caring what the person that you are with physically, emotionally, whether it's in the boardroom or the bedroom. You need to speak your truth. You need to speak the truth. You need to say what you mean and how you feel. You can do it kindly and politely. You don't have to get fired. But you don't have to be everybody's whatever they want you to be. And that's the problem for us victims. That's what we fall into, is because we feel so badly about ourselves on so many levels, the guilt and the shame are so ingrained, we have learned, instead of to go out and try to get what we want out of life, we've learned to find people who think that we fulfill them. And we think that we are getting love and acceptance, and that is all that we need. But we tend to, because of our desperation and the law of attraction, we tend to attract people who, generally super narcissistic people, were also abused, if not physically, emotionally. Because to develop into a person that only cares about yourself, that can't measure life by anybody else's experience, I mean, that's a sad state to be in, and I feel sorry for them. We often villainize narcissists, and it's a big topic. We talk about it all the time, and you can't get away from it because it is the classic definition of the type of people that victims typically hook up with. So I want you to be a survivor. You're going to be a survivor. I'm a survivor. I have a great life. I have a fantastic sex life. And the reason I finally got there was because I finally decided, you know what? It's all about me. And not in a selfish way. I want to give you everything. I want to share my life with you. I want to share my heart and my love with one person. That's me. I'm not saying that's right, wrong, what you do you. But for me, I wanted that. But I didn't need it. And I had to come to a point of not needing it. Because when you need it, when you go looking for something, you will find something. But you don't just want to find something. You need to find something good. You need to find something that works. And so by giving of yourself, you think, oh, I'm so righteous and I'm so kind, and God, or whatever you believe in, the universe should smile on me because I'm working at it. And you know what? It would if you would get out of the thought process that thinks it's all about somebody else's opinion of you. Because what life is really about is your opinion of someone else. If someone else can get into my brain, I've used the F word before, but I'm trying to clean up my act. So if someone can sexually stimulate my brain, okay, if someone stimulates my brain, that's the first step to stimulating the rest of me. And I like to be stimulated. I live for that. I preach about it. I did a whole week on orgasms, and it was the most watched one yet. So yeah, pleasing yourself, doing what you want to do, doesn't mean being cruel to others, lying, cheating, stealing. It means the baseline of what you will accept in your life is who you are, what you like, what you do, and more importantly, your morals. I don't like the word morals because it has biblical overtones. I like to call them standards. I like to say don't have expectations, but have standards. You know, I have a boyfriend. I have a partner. I have no expectations. I have standards. So should he do something outside of the standards I consider normal and decent, then I will leave him. Should he not, and I have no expectation that he will, then we'll see. I feel very blessed. I do. But I didn't get there until I stopped trying to be something to someone else. I've been married and divorced 3 times. I'm not blaming it on my husbands, nor do I want to remarry any of them. If I had known what I was looking for and they had known what they were looking for, we would have just been friends. So we're going to get more in depth about this on Thursday in our lesson. More specifically, I was saying I was going to get away from relationships, but in talking with people, it seems like every single person I talk to is really trying. It seems like our biggest trigger management problem, I don't like the word problem, challenge. As adults, our biggest trigger management challenge is what the hell's wrong with me or my relationship or my ex or my partner, or why don't I have one, or so relationships, how we handle relationships seems huge. As someone who's been divorced 3 times, married and divorced 3 times in many circumstances, I feel highly qualified to throw down on that level too. So we're going to do more of that on Thursday. So spades, right? We did shame is not yours. Separate the past from the present. Oh, you know what? I think I tangented it off. In the separate the past from the present to reiterate the lesson. And no, I'm not drinking. I'm always accused of being drunk. I'm not drinking. It's tea, really. But the past from the present lesson is very simple. When I said that that video of the PTSD is trying to overtake reality, and then I spun off talking about the rabbit hole and blah, blah. At that point, the trick is to start stating just what you see around you, literally. The tiny little things. At the point that you know that you're having a PTSD experience, before you get any further in, grab the first thing you see and just, that is a brick wall. Literally, I'm looking at a brick wall. That is a brick wall. That is a window. That is a dove, a beautiful dove made by my partner's daughter. That's chair. My name is Linda. You state reality. You pull yourself out of this PTSD experience back to reality with literal words by speaking it, by saying it. Sounds weird, but you say it, and your brain, your mind hears it and associates it, and you're going to pull out. You're going to pull out. It works like a charm. It works better than a drug and a lot faster to learn this technique. And there are many techniques that we're going to learn. My trigger guide is going to be out next week. Super excited about that. It's called How to Get From Trigger to Happy. And the full book, it's taking longer than I thought, but for good reasons, because we have serious interest from major publishers and now coaches and people throwing down on how it needs to be done, and me going, cool, I'll get that done just like that. So Self-Talk, my continuing efforts to survive childhood sexual abuse, will also be out, I expect, by next summer. I intend to do a conference next July. That's important for really getting it out there. And September 4th, we are launching the Sweet Survivor Rescue Fund subscription, charity, and merchandise officially at the Healing Arts Festival in Springfield, Illinois. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm going to talk to you Thursday. Lessons on Thursday. Okay, bye.